In this video, I'm going to help you out with Kittl by sharing 7 tips and tricks, some of which you've probably never heard of, and these will make your workflow a lot easier, a lot faster, and make creating your next bestseller an absolute breeze. For this first tip, we're going to tackle a very common problem that I'm sure a lot of you can relate to with AI. Sometimes you wait for ages for something to generate, you spend credits on the graphic, and then half of it is cut off. Really annoying. And there is actually a way to fix this in Kittl without using an additional generation and just rerunning the prompt. You can click on the image and then select reframe up here, and then you just drag out the edges where the graphic has been cut off. So we'll do it at the bottom a little bit right here as well. And now it's just a case of coming to the right hand side and clicking reframe. Now this is going to fill in the gaps right here for us and kind of extend the graphic, and this doesn't use any credits. And there we go. Now we have a normal looking graphic where nothing is cut off on the edge. I do realize there is some misspellings here. ChatGPT messed that up, but you get the point. If you have any issues in terms of the graphic being cut off, this reframe feature is one of the best ways to fix it in Kittl. Tip number 2 is going to help you out with removing backgrounds, because sometimes if you just use the automated function right here within Kittl, it ends up removing more than you really wanted to. And there's no way to control how aggressive this kind of AI background remover is, but you might have never noticed that there is an alternative method to remove the background as well, which has more control. So let's go back to the default here. If you have the image selected, you can come down to the photo filter. And if you enable this, at the very bottom, it says remove color. We can click on this, use the color picker, and then just click on the background color of our image. And now we can increase the intensity of how much of that color is going to be removed. And that way you could just do a subtle adjustment like this, and now only white gets removed and a lot of the other details remain. This is a color picker that removes the background, which is super handy if the AI background removal fails, because this is an AI that scans the image and tries to predict what the background is and removes that part. So it's not always accurate. This can be a lot more accurate and it can get you better results, especially if the automated version fails. This next function is going to make things way easier when it comes to making edits to designs or even merging multiple designs into the same graphic. If you have an image, you can now just click on it, whether it's on an artboard or not, and then you can hit remix up here in the floating toolbar, which is going to reference that design or the designs that you selected, and then you can make edits to them. So for example, we could say change the cow to a chicken. We're going to use the default Nano Banana model for this because it's quite good at this sort of task. The aspect ratio, you can affect that here as well. I'm just going to match the input, and you can change how many images it's going to generate. So we'll just do 2 in this example and then hit generate down here. And as you can see, it very quickly created those. The UFO looks exactly the same. This is what Nano Banana is really good at. Just the chicken has kind of 2 different versions right there. Another thing that I need to show you with this function is merging multiple designs. So let's imagine we want to bring all of this together in one right here. You can actually draw a box around 3 designs like this and say, put the cat and the cactus into the tractor beam to match the style. And now we're going to use, I think I'll use the Nano Banana Pro model for this and just turn this down to 1 image, and let's see what happens with this prompt. And there you go. I think you can see the power of this. It very nicely combined these right there whilst matching the style of the cat and the cactus to the actual UFO, and it only took about 30 seconds. By the way, if you have nothing selected right here, you can either reference images through selecting them on the canvas like I showed you, or you can also upload images as a reference instead. Tip number 4 is going to help you create better and more research designs without needing to switch between different tools, because Kittl has a chat function built in right here on the left hand side. And if I wanted to create a design with different types of dinosaurs, but I don't know much about dinosaurs, I can literally just pop this up right here on the side and say, what are some of the most popular dinosaurs kids are usually interested in? If I'm making a design for children, that might be something you want to find out. You can also say, name 10 of the most common dinosaur predators if you just wanted to make a special version of this design with only predators in it. I'll give me this same list for herbivores, and there we go. Now we've easily got a bunch of names right here that we can lay out in a design, and you can use this chat window in many different ways. You can conduct research like this, you can discuss design ideas in general or puns, phrases to add to your designs. You can click on new chat up here if you want to start fresh. And I'm just asking it what kind of different categories I could break these types of dinosaurs down to. So it's telling me right here, I could do it by era, because there's different eras of these. You could do it by diet, like I was already kind of starting to think. You could do it by size as well, by habitat. So I could just do the water dinosaurs, for example. That might be a cool design. You could do it location based as well, like dinosaurs of North America, dinosaurs of South America, Europe. That might be interesting. So as you can see, really quickly, we've got a ton of ideas right here on what to actually design without having to switch to a different tool or have a separate subscription. It's all built into Kittl, and we can always come back to this. You can close it down, you can design and focus on that, and then open up the chat once again right here. Now, in case you didn't know, Kittl has masks built in, and you can now also use custom masks, which I'm going to show you. But first of all, you can find the preset masks in the illustrations tab. If you go to shapes right here, then you've got a masks category, and there's a bunch of cool presets right here. For example, if you wanted a kind of round brush design, you click on this mask, it opens up on your artboard, and now you need an image to place inside or a graphic. So we're going to type in beach perhaps, and use this as an example, and then you just need to kind of drag this and fill out the mask, and now there you go. You've got a really cool masked out image right there, and you can still adjust things in terms of the placement right here, the alignment. But previously, you were only able to do this with their preset masks from this category. Now, you can do it with all sorts of shapes and even text. For example, if I put this to the side right here, I could now add a text layer. Let's stay within the beach theme right here. Let's use a nice, bold, blocky font like this perhaps. And you can right-click on this text, hit Use as Mask. It's going to ask you if you want to convert it to a shape, which is fine. That's the goal. And there we go. Now this is our mask. And we can once again attach a beach photo right here, which is then going to be embedded into our text instead. And there we go. I think that looks pretty cool and definitely makes for a lot of customization. You can also do custom shapes yourself with the pen tool, for example. If you want to draw out something specific right here, then you can create that with the shape tool however you want, and then you can turn this into a mask as well. Just going to remove the border right here, give this a solid color, and then this is our shape. I know it looks very weird, but the point is, once you've deselected this, you can right click on it, select Use as Mask again, and there we go. And you've got your custom shape right here that you can apply anything to. And you could even use any of the Kittl library right here. For example, we've got the Kittl AI tab, which has a ton of the community graphics right here. You can use any of these shapes. You just need to remove the background. You'll want to vectorize this right here. I'm going to choose 5 colors for this one. And then the end goal is to unionize this shape, so it just becomes one single shape right here with one color. And then we can also turn this into a mask, and there we have it. We've got another custom design right here, quickly made with some of the things in the Kittl library and the new custom mask feature. Now, speaking of the Kittl library and graphics that they have built in, this next tip is going to help you save them for future use, so you don't have to constantly search through the massive libraries, because now wherever you are right here, whether it's the Kittl AI tab or the illustrations tab, the textures setting right here, you can pretty much save anything by clicking onto these 3 dots right here and then adding it to likes. So if there's a texture that you always use, just save it with this like button. If there's some AI graphics from this tab that you really like and you always want to reuse, just right click it, add it to your likes. Same goes for the illustrations tab or templates, you can open any of this stuff up, click on the three dots, add to likes, and you can find the liked items if you go to this tab right here. And as you can see, now everything is here at a glance. You can easily add things from multiple different tabs within Kittl and multiple different libraries onto the graphic in one go. As you can see, it works for templates as well. This one's going to take a while to load probably. Yep, there we go. That's one of my previous Kittl Flows templates loading up right there. And you can even see this in a completely different layout. If you come back to your home screen or your dashboard for Kittl, you've got a graphics tab on the left-hand side where everything is sorted differently, and you've got the full view right here to filter through illustrations, photos, textures, etc. And you can also search for things in here. And again, if you click through these, you find something that you like and you want to use within your workflow, just click on the hat symbol right here. Same goes for fonts, by the way. There's a massive fonts library right here. Kittl has a ton of good fonts, but within a project, it might be a little bit hard or tough to filter through them to find some of your favorites and save fonts that you really like. So instead, just come to the dashboard, to the fonts library, where you can very easily filter through different categories right here. So we could look at just the handmade fonts, for example. You can then filter it down further by clicking on this filters button. And then you could say you only want the brush fonts, for example. Or you also want to see Christmas themed fonts right now, and they should ideally be very wide. Okay, that doesn't exist. Or they should be thin, they should be bold. You get the gist. You can apply multiple filters right here and then find the exact fonts that you're looking for. And once you're happy with them, you save them to your favorites. You find them more easily whilst you're actually within a project. You've got the artboard there. You've done some upfront work right here within these libraries, and everything will get a lot easier. Tip number 7 is going to help you out a lot with mockups, but there is going to be some bonus tips as well, so definitely stick around for those. So let's imagine you're working on this design right here within Kittl, and you just want to see what it looks like on a few different products. You can click on the artboard and then click add mockup right here, and it opens up a live mockup, and not just one, but you can do this with multiple at the same time. So let's go back to this artboard, click add mockup again. We've got the library on the right hand side. Let's say we want to see this flat lay as well. Can resize things right here, and for good measure, let's use a mockup with a model as well. So now we've got a set of mockups right here, and the best thing about this is I can make changes in the input artboard right here for this design, and it's going to update live across all of these right here. So let's try a different color scheme. For example, change this red to maybe a teal color right here, and there we go. You can see that apply across the board instantly. Really, really cool and useful feature, and a lot easier than opening up a completely separate new tab and having to click through all the mockups individually. So I really love this, and I hope this is going to save you a ton of time. Bonus tip number 1 is a little bit of a hidden way to describe graphics illustration within Kittl, and this is really handy if you struggle with prompting and you often see graphics or elements that you don't know how to prompt yourself. For example, this right here, you can go to the top right corner, and where it says prompt, just click on this plus symbol and it will generate a prompt for you. You can then look at this prompt right here, you can copy it, or if you hit recreate, it will open up that prompt within the AI art generator within Kittl, where you can choose the different models. Sometimes with some of these templates and designs, there will already be a prompt pre-filled in like this. So if you're wondering, how to create more designs in this kind of abstract floral feel, just find some of the Kittl illustrations that look like this and have them described as a prompt, and then you can have them recreated with AI. You might have to play around with the models and figure out which one of these does the job best, but at least now you don't have to come up with 50 lines of prompt yourself. Kittl can describe these graphics for you and make that all a lot easier. And bonus tip number 2 is a really cool way to customize typography. So for example, in this design, I can actually double click into the text layer and then just highlight one letter on its own and edit that individually. So let me change the font right here on a few of these to something completely else. We'll do the T as well, and there we go. Now we've got a very funky looking piece of text right here where almost all of the letters have a different font. Now this is not something that promotes legibility and things being easy to read, so you only want to use it sparingly for t-shirt designs, but it can help you create some very unique text designs, and it's even useful if you just want to change the color of different letters. For example, you can also now do this, so it doesn't have to be different fonts. There is other things that you can change independent from the other letters within the same text layer right here. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, comment what should it be this time. I've been doing banana a lot recently. Why don't you comment cherry down below to let me know that you made it. I really like seeing who watches the videos until the very end. And if you still want to learn more ways to be more productive and increase your workflow speed with Kittl, I highly recommend checking out this video next, where I share one of their most powerful features and explain multiple ways how to use it for print on demand.